Hi, I'm Andy Gomes with Guaranteed Rate, and today I want to cover a topic that's been getting a lot of attention recently, and that is, are we heading into a recession? And more importantly, will a potential recession impact our housing markets and have negative impact on home prices? I will start by saying first that no one has a crystal ball, no one could foretell the future, but we can make assumptions about what is more likely to occur and less likely to occur based on what's happening both fundamentally and geopolitically. Now, let's start with the fundamentals on where our economy has been trending and what's occurring with the economy. I always say that there's three major metrics to measure the health of an economy. One is, tracking our GDP, which is our gross domestic product. How well is the economy doing from a growth perspective based on the goods and services and everything that we kind of build and create and sell. And that number has been doing well for some time, and it's pretty much starting to flatline, right? Two is unemployment. How many jobs are out there? Are people having trouble finding jobs? And more importantly, are wages going up or going down? We just month after month been hitting almost new all-time lows in the unemployment rate. That is tremendous, right? We're in a period where we're pretty much fully employed, but typically when we're fully employed, wages start going up as a result of, people have options, right? If you think you're going to lose your job, you're not going to ask your boss for a raise. If you think the economy is doing really well and things are going great and the companies are making a lot of money, you're going to ask your boss for a raise because you feel you deserve it. Or competition is going to steal you and offer you more money in an effort to make you move to a different company. I've been seeing a little bit more of that. There's less loyalty to the organization, but because people have less loyalty to the organization and there's a lot of job flopping, I've noticed that people are looking not much as wages, but also quality of life, other perks. And we haven't seen raises rise tremendously at all for a while. And that is not really concerning given the low employment environment, but it should be something to watch. And then we have interest rates. Where are interest rates trending? Because the higher rates tend to go, that's a mechanism that the federal government uses to slow down things when things are going too fast because they don't want the economy to overheat. And when they're trying to get the economy kind of going, they lower rates because as the cost of capital decreases, the monthly payments on items that you purchase, such as cars, houses, recreational vehicles, or even like business loans, as rates go down, the monthly payments come down and people are motivated to either buy something newer because it makes more sense on paper, or the businesses have room to grow because the capital is cheap enough to allow them to grow. So rates have been coming down. The Feds have cut rates a couple times. They have more to go in terms of the rate cuts. So they can pause here or they can continue. But the Feds are in full support of ensuring the economy is humming along. So these are all great factors. And there's a lot of fear over where we're heading in the economy because we've been expanding for over 10 years. Ever since the 2008 financial crisis, the economy has went through a contraction period and has since been expanding, and people are fearful that we're heading towards the end of a potential expansion. I've been following economics for a while, and I geek out with this stuff. I'll be pretty honest with you, and I like to make assumptions on what's happening based on what I've seen happen and based on what I see occurring. And I follow multiple very brilliant individuals from the economic fronts in terms of reading the newsletters and reading the books and kind of absorbing different thoughts that different people have. And I personally feel we're not going to see a recession. And if we get one, it's going to be a mild one just because we're doing really well. There's nothing from the consumer level that can, in my opinion, trigger a consumer-driven recession, which are the worst kind. That's what happened in 2008. There was a consumer-driven recession. The availability for consumers to get loans dried up, the banking system seized, and people had a hard time making and affording their monthly obligations. And then as a result of that, inventory levels dried up, Companies saw that consumer demand wasn't there, so companies started laying off employees as a result of the slowdown, and things just trickled down until a point where we saw what occurred in 2009. Right? Then home prices declined, business activity declined, and around 2010, 2011 or so, things started to turn the corner and we started to head higher. And because we've been growing for so long, people are concerned. But because we grew so long but so small, we didn't see large measures of growth at all. We did not see large measures of growth, and as a result, I think that the economy could support itself for a while longer before there's any potential impacts. Now, let's say we do have a mild recession. Is that going to actually hurt home prices in the area? Then, if employment stays pretty steady, I think we're going to be okay. People's ability to afford a home is the number one thing that keeps a housing market supportive. Rents right now are pretty high. It actually makes more sense on paper to own a home versus renting a home. Banks are not giving out money like candy like they did back in the 2000s, but getting a mortgage is not that difficult. Some people are just very scared and don't want to go through the process, but once they go through it, they realize like, oh, I could actually afford this. This makes sense. I've saved a little bit of money. I have a small down payment. I can make this work. And that, in my opinion, is going to really help our local housing market, is the fact that, from a taxation standpoint, Connecticut is looking better than both New York and Jersey. And we're getting a lot of buyers coming in from the New York area. The New York real estate just became so expensive that they're trickling into Connecticut. The millennials are now starting to what's called form households. They're getting married, having children. Those are the two largest motivators for a home purchase. In summary, there's no crystal ball. No one knows if the economy is going to be better or the economy is going to do worse. If the economy keeps humming along, home prices should stay supportive / go up a little bit. And if the economy really takes off after these last 2 years, there's been pretty flat with the economy. If the economy skyrockets, we're going to see people chasing things, because there are individuals out there who have been holding off, waiting to see what happens with a potential recession. And if they see the recession is not coming, they will speed up, and that pent-up demand will create a little bit of upward pressure on prices. Think about it. If you're nervous about buying a home because you think home prices are going to come down, and then you see the opposite happen, you're going to get into the market and chase the market at that point. And on the flip side, if we do have a mild recession, and I do believe it will be mild, the fact that unemployment rates are so low, and the fact that we haven't seen wage-based inflation, I think that's the employment picture is looking strong enough for there to be a supportive housing market either way. So love to hear your thoughts. Share them down below. If you have any questions or just want to have a general conversation about the economy, feel free to reach out. Thank you so much.